Guys, it's a teamwork kasi.
Yes,
If it's not for them, there's no like this.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I didn't want, like, I think that's also why a lot of people ask, like, how did you come up with the story, the branding? I mean, I think excellent branding really starts with the truth, with something that's honest. How did you come up with the story, the branding? I mean, I think excellent branding really starts with the truth, with something that's honest.
Authentic, genuine.
Yeah, and people saw that because I never naman sought to be like, sige, gawin natin to para lang masabi na we help
Like,
farmers.
let's twist something.
Like, that's really the truth.
Yeah.
And I think people see that. And that's also why we get a lot of support for the coffee, because people know they're buying an excellent product and they're also doing good to society. So it's really a win-win.
Yeah, for
You
everyone.
cannot lose with this, you guys.
Hello, magdi-dream ka pa. I mean, what's that?
Nandito na nga siya.
Ayan na, take it na, drink it every day. So, having said that, yung execution, like, how did you plan the branding na, like, going online or like the production?
Right. Okay. So I knew from the start that it was just me and my father who's really working on this. So my dad is highly involved with the community.
Okay. He found it.
He discovered it.
Okay.
So everything, like the whole story of it was really meant to be, because he was kind of just on vacation in the mountain where the coffee grows, and he just saw that there was a lot of coffee there. And he was like, guys, what are you doing with this coffee? And then they were like, hola. So ganun, it was really like destined. So that's how the whole thing began. And I knew from the start na I wanted it to be big, but also at the same time, I was very realistic in the sense na I'm not working with a huge capital.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try selling coffee in a way that's different from how other brands have done it here. So normally, they sell it sa supermarket, they sell it sa cafe. So I tried, like, why not online? Like a site that's not just a site where you can buy, but a site where you can learn. You can learn about the community, you can learn about the place. And that cut out so much cost from me, because all I needed to do was set up the site. I didn't need to do rent, I did not need to do labor.
Did you need help with the site?
With the website, yes, I work with someone for that. So that's why I was telling you, like, it's really important to find people who are good at what they do and to help you out. And I also did not have my own roaster. A roaster, like the investment in that is maybe in the millions. So I also work with a roaster now. I had my packaging printed separately, and I just give it to my roaster. The beans come from South Cotabato and they get shipped here to Manila. So there aren't actually a lot of big elements involved. But the elements that are involved, there's someone who's taking care of them in a very responsible way. So all I have to do really is oversee the whole thing. And it comes out great in terms of organization and structure, and even in terms of cost. Because I just need to transfer it from point A to point B to point C to the customer. Yeah. And that's it.
How did you let's say someone wants to start a business and they're not working, parang wala masyadong capital.
Right.
What's your advice there?
Well, I think now there's so much options for what you can do. I think, like, I see these brilliant people who start brands from Instagram and they work. The thing is lang, when you work kasi with something that's online, there's a tendency for it to feel like, this can just work for a season and then hindi ko na siya itutuloy. So you kind of have to find that balance between being creative to sell something without not having a lot of money to start with, but also being invested even if you didn't really invest a lot of money to start with. So yun yung nakikita ko kasi with a lot of online brands. Like, it's easy to start because you don't really need a lot. But parang it's hard to continue because maybe once you start getting your returns, oh, you're good na.
Masaya ka na.
Yeah,
Okay ka
so
na.
you have to kind of strike that balance in between those two things. But yeah, there's so many options for selling. You know, people can go to, they don't even have to set up their own site. They can go to a marketplace.
Yeah.
So many marketplaces now offer opportunities for local brands to come in, for young brands to come in. And it's just a matter of really like having your eyes open to whatever's new and trying to take advantage of new technologies and also new ideas. Because a lot of people want to work with young people. A lot of people want to work with different ideas now, and the world is so much more open. And that's great, diba?
And everyone wants to help each other.
Yeah, which is, I mean, yun nga, parang,
you feel like it's a competitive world, but at the same time, kaya nauso yung freelance, right?
Yeah.
Because like, hey, I'm good at this, I can help you with this.
Right. I think, yeah, I don't know if that's very naive for me to think, but I'd like to think kasi na there's, especially for coffee, like there's really room for everyone to come on board. So even if I hear na people wanna start something like this, na medyo similar, go ahead, diba? Like if it worked for me, I hope it'll work for you.
Aww. I'm so proud you're my friend.
Hindi talaga ako ganito kabait, actually. This is all an act.
Kasi ano lang,
Kasi ni-record ako eh.
may sinasabi si Andy na approve daw siya. Diba, so there are two types of green coffee. There's ground.
Yeah, so can you guys hear this? It's beans.
Okay, it's the beans.
And then we also have grounds, but they both retail for the same price, which is 350 pesos for a 200 gram bag.
Yeah.
And it really just depends on the customer. So some want to buy it in beans because they prefer to grind it themselves at home. Some want to buy it grounds so they can brew it right away. So it's just a matter of, you know, where you are with your coffee experience. Yeah.
So do you suggest like when we take this with milk, coffee, or as is?
Actually, like you can. I've had a lot of customers come to me and say, I normally drink my coffee with milk and sugar, but because of Dream Coffee, I've learned how to take it black.
Kasi it's not bitter.
Like Andy.
It's not bitter.
Yeah.
Like I don't like black coffee,
Yeah,
but when I tried it, well,
it's bold. And
it changes
also
your
sweet.
experience. Yeah.
I think that has to do a lot with the fact that we farm it again in a single place and we produce this organically. So no pesticides, no drugs touched.
As in controlled nyo talaga, you know, like
because
super
also we work with such a fertile land. Like it's amazing. Like we don't really need to do anything for it to grow. And also, so I was saying kanina, there are people who started drinking black because of this, and it's also not acidic.
Okay, because
I guess it has to do with the fact that we again farm it organically, and when we roast it, we do a medium roast. So nothing too dark, too bitter that's gonna maybe trigger some acidity. So a lot of people who have problems with like, you know, hyper acidic sila, they actually can drink this, which is amazing. I didn't even know that until I got feedback from customers, and now I know na parang, oh, okay, pwede pala. Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Sorry, weird talaga ako kasi joke.
Iyak ako. Yung prepared.
Wala kang tissue. Joke
Wala, sorry. May kape ako.
Parang magising sa katotohanan. So, Iya, one thing that I noticed lang is that, not because I'm your friend, but as a consumer, I would say that you were able to launch your brand online successfully. A lot of you. Guys, like siguro December and before December. November.
Yes.
November, December, parang hindi namin siya nakausap. Kasi you were working on it and sleepless nights, ganyan. And I would say that it paid off. Because now she's been featured on several articles and
like Millennial Morena's YouTube channel.
Ano sinasabi mo? And my boyfriend
actually, dala yun ng dream ko. Kung gusto niyo magka-jowa, bumili na kayo.
Ay, nako. Ay, inspired na talaga siya. And on GMA. So, yun nga, like, syempre as an inspiring entrepreneur, I'd say this is my business. It's inspiring to see that you were able to launch your brand successfully online, and it was very authentic. Like, you didn't even have to lie to your consumers.
Right.
Not like,
Parang like,
not white lies. No, you didn't even twist anything.
yeah, or like falsely advertise.
Yeah, exactly.
Or push something na parang, talaga.
Oo. Na parang offline, meet ka, tapos may makikita sila.
Right.
Hindi tugma.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, what's your, how did you do that naman?
Okay. So, I guess very crucial there was the timing.
Yeah.
I really made sure to launch during the holiday season because especially in the Philippines, that's really where Pinoy shop.
Yeah.
And I knew my market was gonna be Pinoy because until now, actually, I'm not yet ready for international shipping in huge orders.
But people want na.
Yeah, but what I do is, so if anyone wants it, I really process it talaga with
For
them,
them, yeah.
especially for them. But there's really no parang bulk orders for
Yeah.
international yet. So they made sure that it would hit the holiday season. And also, I really, I guess, kind of really went out of my way to serve my customers. Like, if there were days that I couldn't get riders to deliver, I would do it all by myself. And that's,
You make it happen.
I really made it happen because I knew that the first one, the first time anyone's gonna encounter this brand, it better be a good encounter,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
Because if not, hindi na ako babalikan ng mga customers ko. And that's what I saw. Even after the holidays, I would still get repeat orders from the same people who I talked to. Sometimes I end up just texting them to say, I'm sorry it's going to be late. Very apologetic, really service oriented, and they're like, yeah, sure. But I think people understand and people appreciate na, you really care about them. I think when people encounter the Dream Coffee, they see that sense na parang, this brand truly cares eh.
Yeah.
And I want, even for their experience actually buying it, they feel that sense of care na, this product's gonna get to you. So I really went out of my way to serve customers that way. As for, the features and everything else, I honestly don't know how those things happen. Like, before the Dream Coffee started, I made lists of things where I wanted to be featured. And I just honestly prayed over that list.
Wow.
And I was just like, God, that would be so amazing if I could get traction for this brand. And that's what happened. I don't know where they hear it from. A lot of them just say, I just see it on Facebook and on Instagram, which kind of surprises me because it's like, I don't have a huge following on Facebook or Instagram, but I guess
Because people believe in it.
yeah, and word gets around a lot. And what I love also now is I have a lot of customers who buy, and they really buy like in bulk because they use it for gifts, or they just want to have a lot in their house, which gives me like a sense that these customers trust what they're getting, and they love the quality, and they know they're doing something good for the country when they interact with this brand.
If they look for you, if they want to look for you, where can they find you?
Okay, so do I tell you? Do I tell them? I'll tell them. Okay. So you can buy the Dream Coffee online at www.thedreamcoffee.ph. We're also available in retail outlets like Real Food in BGC and in Alabang, and we're in Providor in SM Aura, also in BGC.
Yeah, tatlo na. Oh my
Yeah, 3
Thank you, Lord.
spaces. And we're that's the challenge now, like really trying to get in the right places.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do. That's my new strategy, like not just selling to customers directly, but really like retail outlets and hopefully in cafes. So we have some cafes that we're already working on deals with, so you might be able to taste the Dream Coffee in one of your favorite coffee shops very soon.
Yes!
And yeah, so that's another thing actually. When you're starting a brand, you should always know what the next step is, or try to figure it out. Always be thinking about it. So that's
Considering it's only been like 4 or 5 months.
I know. So
Praise God, I'm so happy.
yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things, like when you said the challenges, like sometimes because I have nothing to compare myself to, I'm always like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not? So that's why it's so important really for me, it's important that I'm always like praying and communicating with God, because He's the only one who knows everything I'm going through. And I think if not for that, I'll just go insane.
Oo, kasi syempre like running a business on your own.
Mag-isa ka lang
competitive pa yung industry.
And even if you talk to friends about it, it helps. But parang
they're not in the same.
And they're not gonna know exactly what you're going through. So it's important to have that.
What's your advice naman to those who are like on that? I'm sure you experience like that day na, do I keep going or do I just give up and follow another career?
I know it's super cliche, but that's why it's so important to start something with an idea that you're doing this for someone else outside of yourself. Because if those tough days come, you always have to go back and like, why did I start this? And if you started it because you wanted to be rich, which is, I mean, fine, completely okay. When you get to the point that you're rich, so what now, diba? Ang yaman mo na.
What do I do with this?
Like, so I can stop na. But the main reason why I started the Dream Coffee is to really positively impact the community. And that's going to be endless, to provide
multiple communities in the future.
It's not just about like, sige, nabigyan ka ng pera, but really like impacting an entire generation of farmers and their children. It's about giving them a source of livelihood that's sustainable, helping educate, helping build infrastructure. So it's such a wide and huge scale, right? So you're right, like I've had days na I'm really like parang just wanna throw in the towel and parang anyway, at least I learned na kaya ko naman, and nagawa ko na siya. I just think about that, na parang
you remember your why.
I remember my why. I remember the purpose of why this happened, and I also think about the people, the farmers that I work with, and parang I can't bear na I'll go to them and be like, yep, that's it. I folded it. It was a good, run. Parang not naman that I'm obligated to do it, but because I really have a heart for them, and I cannot imagine letting them down.
Wala akong tissue. Pareho pala tayo iyakan. Joke. Okay, so do you have anything else to say?
Just
keep dreaming.
Just keep dreaming. No, but that's also why I love this brand. It's really like a dream come true for me. And I think for a lot of the farmers we work with, it's a dream come true for them. So, and it's just amazing that it all ties up, right?
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us, and for letting us see a perspective through a CEO's perspective.
Oh my gosh!
CEO ka na, girl. Sure. Last word?
Last words.
Oh, no naman. Like, just to end.
Maybe I know that there are a lot of people, like, the time now is really right for people to create their own thing, to start their own thing. But again, it's really important. Like, creating something's hard. It's hard, but it's also actually the easiest step. It's the follow through that's difficult, and that's where a lot of effort kicks in. And just for me, just when you create something, try to get an idea of how much effort you need to put in the follow through. Kasi sayang naman if you just create tapos
hindi ma-continue.
Although there's also something to be said for just wanting to create. But it would just be so much better, I think, like if we had more brands that were really thoughtfully thought out. And also that really impacted society, not just us, diba? Like as in the whole of society. That's really my heart.
Thanks. I love you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Buy the Dream Coffee. Wake up to the dream in your cup.
Bea, how do we end this? Ikaw mag-hold. Yay! Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or too from Iya Joson. Don't forget, it's the Dreams Coffee. Let me know if you guys have any questions and if you want me to collaborate with anyone that you want to hear from. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and keep the good vibes flowing. Bye!